All right, guys, I'm here today in Conway, Arkansas. I got word from one of my Facebook followers about some vintage quilts that were for sale at this flea market. I called and bought them over the phone and then drove down today. And while we're down here, we're going to check out what other treasures we can find here in this small town in central Arkansas. So a regular viewer and a Facebook follower of mine named Kim had reached out to me about these quilts that were for sale. I called and bought them over the phone, and this was the shop where they were. Kim also has a booth space here. You're going to meet her in just a few minutes, and she's amazing. And I wanted to just look around and see what else I could find. So it was definitely kind of a mixture of some flea market type stuff, definitely some cool vintage and antique things. You really had to dig a little bit though. So this is Kim, my friend Kim. She's the one who told me about this space.
Hello.
And I was just, look at her beautiful space, you guys. She's done an incredible job. But I was just asking her about all of her tags. So you're boring to beautiful, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about what you did with your tags, what you were just telling me off camera.
Well, I wanted, at this particular place, we get our tags back, our price tags back at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So, because I'm trying to build a business and a brand,
yeah,
I wanted to make sure that people didn't forget me once they left. So this way they can pull the price tag and keep it, and then this part stays with the
them.
product.
Absolutely. And so these you made.
I did.
You're telling me you made, you just printed them yourselves.
I did.
And then these down here you had printed.
Right. I got these from Vista Print, and I did them as a business card, and then I cut them in half and put the holes in them so that way I could order 1,000 of them. It would take me forever. And I've done a lot of these that I did myself. But
Kim, that's like borderline genius. That's just really, really smart. And I love it. It looks so good. And you're exactly right. So every time somebody buys something from you, this goes home with them, and it has your Facebook on there and how to get a hold of you. I just think it's amazing. Awesome. Thanks for showing us that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. This is a really cute set. I love the green on it. Isn't that cute? It's not jadeite. It's kind of a different green. Very cute. Those are plastic. I thought they might be restaurant wear, but they're plastic. So here's a chunky restaurant piece, $9. And it's Jackson China. This is a cute tea tin. It's not super old. You can tell by kind of this level of information on the base. You know, not crazy old, but it's cute. It's got good colors on it. $3. This is a pretty Roseville piece. Let's take a look at what they've got. Okay, 22 on that, and the booth is 20% off. Unfortunately, it's got a little ding right there. I kind of think that Roseville is becoming a little more popular again with like younger people. Like it's always, you know, been kind of had value, but I just see a lot more people talking about it lately. This one though, unfortunately, it's just this handle is about to break off. So I think I'm gonna pass on it, but that's a cool find. These guys over here, 25. Okay, this is mid-century. This is a planter. Let's see if I can get it out here without damaging it.
You what?
These guys are getting harder and harder to find. People have started taking them and planting succulents in them. This one's not in bad shape. It has a couple little chips on it, but not in bad shape at all. And I love the bluebirds. So here is just a quilt top. So it's the top piece that has been pieced together, but then the backing and the batting has not been added. So it's kind of like all the hard work of the quilt. And this one here, the price on it is $19.99. Let's check out the others. This one I like the pattern and the fabric on it a little better. This one here is also $19.99. These fabrics are fun. They're not in bad shape. I'm not a quilt expert, so still trying to learn. I don't think these are like crazy old, but they're in good shape, and I don't know, maybe they would give me a deal if I bought all 4 of them. All right, so I grabbed 2 of those quilt tops, and my friend Kim suggested a few other places for me to check out while I'm down here. So we're gonna keep the tour of Conway going. Okay, so we're a little bit north of town at Rusty Gold Antiques and Flea Market, and there is a pile of junk out here, which is what I love to see. This place has some potential. Let's go inside. We're gonna start by just looking out here in this pile of stuff. Things seem to be priced, which is impressive. It's just kind of out here. Man, this is a massive, look at how big that is. A massive clamp. Over here, what is this? Monarch marking system. That is some sort of complex machinery. An old bean pot here. West Bend bean pot. Missing the lid, $5. Check out this lamp. That's pretty cool. Some jars. $7, set of 4. The pitcher and the 3 glasses. All right, check out down here in this box. This is sitting here. Look at it. The United States Army Medical Department. This is an old Army plate. And unfortunately, it's just all cracked up right there. But, like, would you expect to find that down here in this box? All right, so check this out. I hope you guys can hear me. Like, are these football pads? Is that what this is? Like, is this an old football shoulder pad? Or like hip pads, you know? Or something else. This says Wilson. Is it? That's plastic in there, so maybe it's not that old. I can't figure out really what it is. Rugby, maybe? There's knee, hockey. What does this say? Hockey. An old hockey gear set, $12. What is this doing in Central Arkansas? Nobody plays hockey here. That's kind of crazy. You guys, when I walked into this place, I was amazed. I'm so excited to show you some of the incredible things that they had in this antique store, and I just was completely unexpected. All right, you guys, this place is pretty cool. I got some stuff here. Look at this set, Pyrex set here. Some really cool old pieces. This place definitely did not exist when I lived down here before. A couple coffee grinders, look at those. This is really handmade beveled glass cabinet, $235. I don't know that it's worth that, but that's a cool piece. Y'all knew I was gonna find this piano, right? $125 on it. But I love it. It's adorable. This is some really good quality stuff here. I was not necessarily expecting that when I walked in, so pleasantly surprised. Look at this, $65 for this big scale. Now these, like, I really have to resist. I mean, they're gorgeous. Look, here's another one. This one, $75 for this one. Okay, and look, I mean, it has the mirrors intact, and down here, this brass piece and all this glass is intact. The problem though is that, gosh, it even has all the weights and everything. The problem with these pieces is that, I mean, you have them for a long time, because not everybody can display something this size, and it's heavy. You don't want to move it, but I mean, that's a steal of a price. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, like, this place may bust my budget. I didn't know that this place existed. We're kind of outside of town, and they have really great prices for me on things. I'm seeing prices that I can grab for resale, and it's the end of the month. I don't have a lot of money left to spend. But since I'm down here, they just have some really, really cool stuff here. These are some beautiful prints. Look at this one. Mountain print right there for $40. And then this one over here, $65. Those are really pretty. Check out this guy. And look at this. What is this? Okay. It is, let's see if I can get back here. Elaborate early English Gloria in Excelsis Deo nativity scene, $350. Okay, wait a minute. Look at this thing, you guys. Look at the sheep, the old sheep. Now his head's falling off, but look, okay, see, you could fix that. This guy's got cloth right here. Okay, and these old sheep, y'all, this thing is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I've never seen anything like it. For $350. Wow. Okay, check it out. They also have these Mr. Rogers puppets. Isn't that his name? Is this King Friday? Is that who that is? And there's some more up there. This place is crazy, you guys. This was honestly one of the more enjoyable places that I have been to in quite some time. There was just so many treasures to look through, some vendors that had some really, really nice antique items and some unique things like that nativity set. Have you ever seen anything like that before? I'm kind of a sucker for stuff that's just totally different and you don't see everywhere. So let's just keep walking around a little bit. I'm going to show you guys a few more shots of some of this amazing store, and I really do hope that you get to visit here sometime. All right, you guys, so he quoted me a price of 40 bucks on this wrought iron table. Yes, it is rusty, but there are no holes anywhere in it. It is still very solid and sturdy. And these pieces still sell really well. It's the perfect time for something like this in my booth space. And I think 40 bucks is a great price on it. It's gonna come home with me. Wow, you guys, like, that was a fantastic stop. So if you were in Central Arkansas, Rusty Gold Antiques and Flea Market north of Conway, Arkansas, you need to come in. Fantastic items, really unique things, really great prices on things. Definitely recommend stopping by. On my way out of town, I popped into one more store, and this one was definitely completely different. For sure, an old school actual flea market. Honestly, I was tired by this point in the day, and I saw a couple things, but nothing that was just really amazing. So this place is definitely more of a flea market, whereas the last place we were at was more of an antique store. And I hope that you can see the difference between the two. And there's definitely reasons to shop at both of them. Here at flea markets, I just have to dig a lot more. And I tend to not find as much, but sometimes I can really find a great bargain. You just have to be willing to look and dig. So if I don't have a ton of time, then sometimes places like this aren't really worth it because I just have to dig. But you never know. I've scored some great things at places like this before. My preference is to go to nicer antique stores like the one that I was at. I mean, they just had a lot of really quality stuff. And so you know you may be paying a little bit more for things, but you're gonna really find some good stuff there. So we're back here in Northwest Arkansas, and I want to show you now the things that I brought home with me from my trip down to Central Arkansas. So first off, I wound up grabbing 2 of the quilt tops that I was looking at in that first flea market that I went to. I got this green one here, and then this one with the white and the blues and the greens and a little bit of yellows. Now, these are not finished quilts, they're just quilt tops, which I am new to learning about quilts, and so the concept of a quilt top was something that I learned about, a couple of years ago, so I'm going to share it here. It is the unfinished, like this is the first part that is done, right? And then it has not, the back and the filling has not been added, and then the additional quilting has not been done. So this is just like the piecework of the quilt. And the vendor there gave me a deal because I bought 2 of them, so I got them each for $15. And I'm gonna guess the age on them, maybe 50s to 60s is what I would guess. Again, I'm trying to learn about dating fabrics. Fabrics is not my forte. It's not my area of strength, but trying to learn and grow in that. So from what I've been able to tell, I think these are from the 50s, maybe the 60s, and I do think I'm going to take them up to my booth space. So you guys, how fantastic was Kim? I hope that you enjoyed her tip that she had about her tags. I just thought that was genius, and I was so impressed with both of her spaces, and really glad that she gave me the tip on the quilts. She was the one who, she's a regular viewer, and she sent me a message on Facebook and said, hey, this guy across from me has got these 2 great quilts for a great price. He had them for $25 a piece. So I thought it was a good excuse to take the drive down there, and I got to meet her, and I loved what she shared, and I hope you guys found it helpful too. I always appreciate anybody who's willing to come on a video with me. I know that can feel a little nerve-wracking, but I bet that y'all enjoyed seeing someone else besides just me, right? So here is the first one that I brought back that she sent me. I just really love the coloring on it. I don't think I'm going to wash this one. I have a method where I wash my quilts in my bathtub. Really, it's more like soaking, but sometimes I get them and they've got bad stains on them. And so I do stain treat them and then soak them in cold water with a little bit of Blue Dawn dish soap and some OxyClean. But this one is a thicker quilt. And I've learned that the thicker quilts, they get really kind of lumpy. And so I'm just gonna air this one out. It does have a little bit of staining on the back side, but it's soft. It's whatever it is, it's kind of been into the fabric. It's not like something crusty and gross that's on there, right? And you just kind of get that with old quilts, but I love the colors on it. I thought it would be really, really pretty for spring. It is hand quilted. The piecework is probably done by machine, but the quilting is definitely done by hand. And it's in decent shape, and it was $25. And here's the second one that I went down there. And at first, honestly, like that was, the other one was the one I really wanted, and this one was kind of a bonus. But now I think I like this one even better. And you guys, y'all help me out. I have not been able to find the name of this pattern. And I've even joined a group on Facebook that is an antique and vintage quilt group to try and learn. And so far, nobody in that group knows what this name of this pattern is. But this quilt, I have cleaned. I've done that soaking method that I told you guys about. It had just, somewhere in here, there was just kind of a big yucky stain. And I was able to get probably 85% of that stain out where you really don't notice it much. That was my goal. So it's nice and bright now, but some of the fabrics on it are just really fun. Check out this fabric. Like, look, it's little bunnies. Can you see them? It's tiny little bunnies. Isn't that adorable? And then this kind of red fabric right here is so cute. It's got the little blue fabric. So it's funny, the guy that was selling these quilts told my friend Kim, I don't want to sell them to this lady if she's just gonna take them and cut them up. Which, you know, I don't want to disparage anybody from cutting up old quilts. Like, I think those are great when people do that and make new things out of them. But anyway, she was like, no, she's not gonna cut them. So here's the deal. Even though this quilt is not in perfect condition, because it has such interesting fabric and such a unique and rare pattern that I haven't seen before, I think it still has some value, and it was completely worth the $25. I wound up not getting anything else from that first stop. I was kind of at the end of the month. I was at the end of my inventory budget, and really wanted to just kind of save it for some things that were wow. And I didn't really see anything else that was just like wow. But then the second stop, you guys, that place was really incredible. So the footage where I'm out in the junk pile, I did wind up bringing home that white rusty wrought iron table, and I have gone back and forth on if I'm going to paint it. I think I'm going to leave it like it is, because the rust on it, it's not like dirty rust where you touch it and it gets all over you. It still feels really nice and clean, and it has kind of an interesting patina to it. So I'm going to take it right up to my booth just like it is. If somebody wants to spray a coat of primer on it once they purchase it, they definitely can, but I think that's going to be a nice piece to kind of anchor a new spring display in my booth. And then also out in just that pile of junk, there was a box full of dishes, and I grabbed this dish out of there. Now, yes, it is broken and cracked, but I hope that you can see this was the reason that I got it. Right here, it says U.S. Army Medical Department. And I just felt like I couldn't leave this dish in that box of broken dishes. I paid roughly 50 cents for it. I took it home, washed it up. It's also cracked on the back, but that still, to me, just has some meaning to someone, has some value, and was worth saving out of the box. I also grabbed just this little souffle cup. It's got some crazing and some cracks marked down there, made in the USA. This was also 50 cents, same thing. It was down there in that box, but it could be cute with some greenery in it, you know, some eggs, some fake eggs like for Easter. It was just something to grab from that box. And outside, I also saw hanging up this vintage leather tool belt. Now, I have sold a tool belt like this before, and it was actually just this part. What I thought was interesting about this was the belt. It's got some detail work on it. And the leather, you guys, it's not like flaking and falling apart. Like, this is still completely wearable and usable. Now, the tool belt part is a little stiffer than the belt and probably could use to be cleaned up a little bit. But I took kind of a pile of all of that inside. I took this and the plate and the little cup inside and asked the guy what he wanted for it, and he said $5 for all of it. So even though this is a little bit outside of the kind of stuff that I usually buy, vintage leather stuff does well, and I sold very quickly the last one of these that I had. So it's probably going to go online because it just doesn't really fit with the rest of the stuff in my booth. I hope you can agree that the inside of that store was amazing. They had some of the most unique things that I've seen in a long time, but the owner was amazing. The store was amazing. The vendors were amazing. And I saw a lot of things that were just gorgeous, and I really wanted to bring home with me. But had I had a little bit more money in my pocket to spend, I probably would have bought more, but I wanted to try and stick to my budget or not go over it too much. So I just wound up with 4 things from the inside of that store, but they're things that I'm really excited about. Here is the first one. It is a heavy, this is old oak mirror. ready to hang, but it's got that great silvering and patina on it. And this, you guys, was $10. Definitely easy piece to go up in my booth, and it's dirty. I need to clean it. I need to clean off the wood. I'll probably apply some hemp oil to the wood, but 10 bucks, this was a no-brainer. And in another booth, I saw this mirror. So chippy patina paint, and again, silvering on the mirror. Look, you can see double of me there. This one was $15. So beautiful for the spring. It's gonna be a nice part of a spring booth display. Right around the corner from that chippy paint blue mirror, I spotted this quilt. This one, you guys, of all the ones that I got, is definitely my favorite. This is a vintage Lone Star quilt, and it is hand quilted, hand stitched, and in very good condition, with the exception of, you know, a small stain here or there, or a little bit of kind of, you know, there's maybe 1 or 2 small tears on the side. It's in great shape. It's very soft. It's a bigger quilt, but the colors on it is just what sold me. Again, for this spring, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I love it so much that I might hold on to it for a little bit. I don't know. I haven't seen many that are pink like this and have this coloring in them. Okay, and the last thing that I got there, which I do think I'm going to keep for a while myself, was this stunning oil painting. Take a look at that. Okay, so can you see it up close? It is an actual oil painting of some people on a beach. This beautiful gold frame. And initially there wasn't a price on it. And I took it up to the front and he said, oh, somebody else has asked about that. I think it's $125. I'm gonna call the vendor and ask. I said, okay, great. $125 was more than what I wanted to pay. So I came back after looking around, and he said that he called the vendor, and the vendor said $85. So I said, yes, for $85, I will take it. I still think there's room to make money on this resale-wise. Vintage art has been doing very, very, very well for me in my booth space. But I love this so much that I think I'm gonna keep it for a little bit. Put it up on my mantle with some of my other art pieces, or find a place to hang it. The colors fit with my living room, they fit with my house, and it's just gorgeous. The frame is gorgeous, everything about it is great. So I was happy with the price of $85 for resale and to just keep for myself. Not a huge haul, but some items that I'm really excited about. And I hope that you enjoyed just getting to see a little bit of Central Arkansas. Now, there are more antique stores in that area that I didn't hit. I only had a limited amount of time. So if you're in the area, I hope you get a chance to stop by some of those places. That's it, you guys. I appreciate you being here with me as always. Of course, you can head to Lost and Found Vintage Shop to see some of these items that show up in these haul videos. Some of them are there. Some of them are in my booth space. If there's anything that you're dying for that you can't find, shoot me an email, melanie@lostandfounddecor.com. I sell things all the time like that. People just ask and I'll go, sure, here's your price. I'll pack it up and ship it. Always let me know if you see something that you're interested in. But I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you back again soon.